Today we're going to be talking about 18th century knitting needles and another quick Google Books hint. Thanks for joining us today on Exploring the 18th Century with James Townsend & Son. First, I want to thank everyone for all your wonderful suggestions, your wonderful comments, and your questions. Also, I want to thank J&J Akers. He put us in one of his recent videos about 3 underappreciated YouTube channels. If you're interested in homestead farming, make sure to check out his channel. It's J&J Akers. My featured question today is by Zinka. Apparently, they're having a little bit of trouble with research. So the question is, what did women of the 18th century use mostly for knitting needles? Was there a preferred wood used, and were they basically the same length? Well, I'm certainly not an expert on 18th century knitting, and so I went and on the shelf in our library, I pulled off this book, History of Hand Knitting, and it's got some great information specifically on the history of knitting, and it's got some good information on 18th century hand knitting. In this book, they suggest that knitting needles in Spain and in England in the 18th century were most probably just plain steel. If there are viewers out there with more information on this specific topic, we certainly invite you to give us that information in the comments below. If you're interested in the history of knitting, this seems to be a really great resource. But that kind of leads me to my next point. This book, if you look it up online, is very expensive. Maybe you might be able to find it for $60 or $120. It's a low volume book that can be very difficult to find. But one of the hints I've got for you is if you look up a book like this on Google Books, there's a little link that says you can find this at your library. And if you click on that link and you tell it what your zip code is, it will give you all your local libraries within a certain distance that have this book available. And even if it's not available right close to you, you could do an interlibrary loan from your local library to get a hold of a difficult to find book just like this. The last little tidbit I've got for you is one more comment by Zinka that she left on the pancakes video. She says, I have a very interesting and tasty addition to this. If you want a sweeter pancake, use mare's milk. If you've got questions, whether it's related to our 18th century cooking series, the 18th century in general, to James Townsend & Son and our products, any of those kinds of questions, I would love to hear. Make sure to give us your questions in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, you can see our website and request a print catalog. I want to thank you for joining us today as we explore the 18th century.